Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Zelda Speedruns. Tonight we have the first of our 4 quarterfinal matchups in the Zelda 100% no, or any percent no Up+A tourney. Hey, I just changed the whole thing on you guys. Congratulations. We have Antlerz versus JSR in a best of 3 here tonight. Joined on comms tonight by McMonkey and Red Octorok. How are you two doing?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited for this match.
All right, I will hand it over to the two of you, and we will get this underway shortly.
Excellent. Yeah, we've got a great matchup tonight. Antlerz, JSR, these guys are number 6 and 7 on the leaderboard for any percent no Up+A. Their PBs are 1 second apart, and they've both PB'd in the last 3 months. So these guys are clearly been playing the game, are very good at the game, and we should have a good show tonight. Looks like we're finishing getting set up here. We should get going in about 30 seconds or so. Now, these guys are both going to be starting 3 first, I imagine, and both of them will likely be trying for manipulation, RNG manipulation going into level 3. So if they're able to get into level 3 frame perfectly, then they will be able to force a bomb on the first enemy they kill. And if they continue to do things frame perfectly, they will be able to control where the enemies move and get very good patterns for getting additional bombs and just getting through level 3 very, very fast. So we'll see if they're able to do that. We're off. We're going to see a couple screen scrolls into level 3. And the tech type being a little bit annoying on JSR's side, getting in the way, but still managed to get in the door around the same time as the Manip. We'll see if he's able to carry it through.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now, Red.
Hey, welcome. Hey. I always seem to have trouble with this, but I'm here now.
All right, looks like both of them missed the Manip, and both of them missed the first bomb, so they're both having to clear out this whole first Red Octorok room, or Red Dark Nut room. I think the Tektite, commonly referred to as Mateo, messed up JSR's Manip entering level 3, and looks like Antlerz had some input problems which screwed up his Manip. But
they are, once you're in the dungeon, like frame perfect, and you only have 4 frames when you're outside of the dungeon, so they are very difficult to get in a run.
Yeah, and the Dark Nut's behaving a little bit more for JSR, a slim lead to get into the raft here, but both of them have plenty of bombs. Both of them are at full health, so hopefully there won't be any problems getting out of 3 with that bomb count.
Yeah, both of them look really good on the bomb count. 8 and 7, even going to Manandala. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and it really takes a little bit of pressure off of level 4 when you don't. I mean, they're going to force bombs anyway, but it makes some of the strategies a little bit easier if you've got some bombs to work with.
Yeah, for sure. Because then you can accidentally, or just use them in combat a little bit faster.
Very friendly manhandler for JSR there, and he's
didn't even see it. Oh, Antler's having a little bit of struggle. Thought about that. It looked like he was going to sort it, but then he dropped his bomb.
Yeah, he managed to get out on the very last bomb and get the bomb drop, so lost a little bit of time, but will be able to continue on the route. To answer a question in chat, if you pause the game and press Up+A on the second controller, it will bring up a screen which allows you to save and continue. It'll warp you back to the beginning of a dungeon or warp you back to spawn if you're in the overworld, which can give you some time save in some of the dungeons. You won't have to backtrack. In this particular category, you're not allowed to use that Up+A menu or purposely death warp to gain an advantage. If we do see either of our runners take a death in this run, which we are very much hoping they don't. They will have to. We have a touchback rule, meaning that they would have to get back to the screen where they died to ensure that they did not gain any advantage from the death.
All right, JSR looks like, oh, I was gonna say he got his counts and some lucky bombs for this room. It's gonna make the next force combat room very handy.
Oh, and a very nice pattern for him there to start with 3 enemies lining up for that first bomb and then getting a double on that next one as well. Very nicely done. And Antlerz is not far behind him, just getting into breakfast
right behind. Antlerz is setting up. Oh, that's beautiful. Also 3 enemies right there. So that's going to give him a bit of time catch up. And the clock's at 4 minutes, 13 seconds. That's good. Especially for a race.
That is quite good for a race. Yeah, and we're only about a screen apart for the 2 of them. Antlerz definitely made up a little bit of time on that breakfast room.
All right, JSR getting the ladder clip first try. It's a little difficult because you can't buffer that one. So you got to get it like... You see Antlerz having just the tiny bit of struggle. And if you do miss, you have to go like all the way down and all the way back up, which just wastes a little bit of time there.
Yeah, and with the gels hanging around at your feet, they can often throw off your game on the ladder clip, which is what looked like happened for Antlerz there. They just were bumping him as he was trying to get the clip. So we've got JSR as the first one into Gliok, which is one of the harder fights in this run. You only have 4 hearts in the wood sword, so he needs 10 hits on the first hit and 6 hits on the second.
JSR setting up to get bombs off the Gliok as long as he doesn't take a hit, and he got it. Beautiful.
Yeah, very close. He got himself pinned into the corner, was able to get that last hit in and not take a fireball to the face. Antlerz having to be a little bit careful here with a heart and a half, but he gets out clean as well.
Yeah, with only like 6 seconds behind. That's catching up there. Right now they are off to level 1.
I see comment in chat about both runners possibly being nervous. I'd be interested to ask them that in comms afterwards. These guys are both veteran. They've been playing the game for a long time, playing different games, different categories, very seasoned. But races can give you nerves no matter how much experience you have. So I'm really curious to see, what their mental state was during this race.
Yeah. And this will be a best of 3, so you can get your nerves out in the first race, and then just have a really good, clean 2 and 3 if they need to go to there. And now for the observant one, you can see they go in, they leave, and they come back, and that's to get rid of there's a locked door to the north, but one weird thing in the code is it thinks since you're coming south that you've already used the key, so it goes and unlocks it for you. Very handy for the run.
Yeah, absolutely. It saves, a few seconds. There's a key right in the next room, but at this level, we're saving as many seconds as we can.
Right.
Looks like
the bow.
Maybe a counting issue there. I don't know if Antlerz was trying to force the 5 in order to get the money. His bomb count was all right, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was purposely forcing the 5 there.
Yeah, 22, that's a pretty good, to go into 2. 2 next is where they're going to try to farm. They want to leave 2 with, a minimum of 40, and anything above that is just icing on the cake.
Yeah, seeing confirmation in chat that Antlerz usually forces a 5 there, which makes sense. At this level, these guys are going to be doing a strategy we call River Force. So, somewhere a little slower than these guys, you're going to want more than 40 rupees so you can use your bow in level 7 in a particular room. But these guys can force a bomb in the river room and use bombs as a result, which makes the room quite a bit faster and doesn't require quite as much money. JSR still about a room ahead. First one out of 1. Pretty clean one there for him. And also for Antlerz. So we're now going to scroll across the desert here and pick up a container heart on our way to level 2.
Yeah, dungeons 1 and 2, they're not scary as far as you might take a death, but they're just, you can lose a lot of time and not even notice it. So they're scary for a run perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're trying to build up your rupee count through them, then any hit can cost you some money because you need the 10 hits in a row to get to force the fiver. Otherwise, you're sort of relying on luck of the drops.
JSR just grabbing the secret 30 here, so he's not going to have to worry about monies too much in level 2 now. If he wants to, he can just skip everything now.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's a result of having a lead of a couple screens here. He could take the time to get that 30 and then not have to worry about getting River Force.
He's also sitting, pretty low on the money count, too, so I can see just being the nice comfy in 2 in case you're not scrambling out of there. And then you're just overflowing with money from the Armos anyways after wasting your time. All right. These little ropes just running towards Link.
Yeah, and these rope rooms can be tricky to do fast. You'll see they are making good use of the fact that they will chase after you if you are on the same hole tile as them. These guys know a lot of these patterns and have very specific strategies to be able to get through the rooms quickly.
This is good Moldor patterns for JSR. Antler is doing a good job cleanup, though. Getting the rupees count here, so he's at 38, so he's going to be sitting pretty good.
Yeah, but out of bombs at the moment, which could be an issue if the Gorillas are not friendly in the next room. So JSR getting a bit of a trolley dodongo there. Took a couple of tries, had to chase him down to the upper corner, and Antler's able to get a bomb drop along with the room drop, so he is just fine on bombs right now and got a much more friendly dodongo.
Look at this, leaving 55 and 8, 51, 5 and 8, and only like 2 seconds apart. That's some pretty almost across the board like consistency there.
Yeah, absolutely. Based on their timers, I think it's a 4-second difference leaving level 2. Yeah, absolutely. Was a necessary bomb drop. It was going to make, if you're walking out of level 2 with less than 8 bombs, it's just going to make level 5 that much more challenging because you're already pressed for bombs in level 5. We'll see. They're going to pick up 100 secret here to get enough money to be able to buy the arrows and the bait. And then they're going to go into level 5, hopefully building a count to be able to force a bomb in what we call the Olive Garden, which is a room with a whole mess of blue dark nuts. They take 8 wood sword hits to kill, but only 2 bombs. So we're going to be bombs away when we hit that room.
See JSR right here building up his count for that room. Antler's doing the same. These Tektites, they just kind of hop around, so you can easily lose your count to them. Both runners doing a very clean job of building their count and not taking a hit.
Yeah,
they're on the same screen.
Ideally, you would use the bomb to kill the Gibdos there in that first Gibdo room so that you're bombing the wall open and using the bomb to help speed up the Gibdo kill. Unfortunately for JSR, the Gibdos were not cooperating and going near enough to where he needed them. And as a result, we are now
they were just
about a second apart.
Just a tile too far south. Here we go. So whoever gets the cleaner one's definitely going to get a better Olive Garden lead. Ooh, Antlers gets his bomb. Did JSR get his and he just already used it? I didn't see him.
Yeah, JSR did get the bomb. He used it. He was getting far less friendly dark nut patterns. They were spreading out quite a bit. And we have pretty good sync leaving this. Olive Garden is one of the higher variance rooms in the game. And coming out of Olive Garden, we are almost frame for frame here.
Yeah, that's a
very good race so far.
I know entering the room, you can have the same spawns, but then after that, the AI just takes over and it can go anywhere. JR taking a bit of a love op, so he'll be beamless here, but...
Oh, and taking another hit there. He's going to have to be a little bit careful on the back end. 4 hearts is not terrible, but certainly not ideal. You prefer to have more hearts for the back half.
Yeah, 5 is a mean dungeon. Most of the creatures here deal 2 damage increments. There's a few rooms with like some 1, but everything for the most part just deals 2 damage. Which, 1 or 2 hits doesn't matter, but if you keep going, then it just really starts to add up.
And both of our runners getting unfriendly Dodongo patterns again, of having to kill multiple Dodongos to fill up our bombs. We need full bombs. We're going to use 1 bomb on the boss, and then we need all 7 of the remaining bombs to get through level 7 afterwards.
Antler's taking a bit of a lead now. Now, on the leaderboard, both of these runners are very close with their PBs, so it's going to make sense that this race is going to be very close.
Yeah, and they've both been playing quite a bit recently, so we don't expect any rust. One of the great things about this tournament, and really kudos to the admin team for building the excitement and getting some of the old guard to come out of retirement, as it were, to start doing runs. As a newer runner to this game, it's been just a ton of fun to see who has come out to play it, see excitement about it. These races have been very exciting, and learning a lot about the game as well, watching it, which is one of the real benefits of this kind of tournament. So big props to the admin team. Thank you to all of them.
All right, now Antlerz and JSR are going to do their spending, buying their items. Both of them taking the safe route, which makes sense. You don't want to waste time doing a nice rear quarter, getting bopped.
Yeah, with it only saving 2.5 seconds and it being so close, the risk reward doesn't quite seem worth it.
No, especially if you're slightly behind too. You want to just get a nice guarantee easy there. JSR is not behind by a lot too, so he's just gonna anything you can. Antlerz doesn't have much room for safety either, so he's got to not take much risks. And
level 7 is a level where there can be quite a bit of variance depending on the number of hits you take, and a lot of that is down to the patterns of the gorillas that we'll see in here throwing their boomerangs. Some of the patterns are very easy to get through without taking hits. Others are quite a bit more challenging. As Chad is pointing out, Antlerz was setting up a count to be able to do River Force, but unfortunately taking a bop there on his way through the first room with enemies, so he's not going to be able to do the Force. Thankfully, he's got enough arrows to fall back on the arrow strats here, but the real benefit of the Force in a race situation is that it leaves you with an extra bomb leaving 7. We will need one more bomb to get through level 6 without having to go far out of our way. And meanwhile, JSR getting the River Force.
JSR, the last room, he left the dungeon the frame before he got hit. It was incredible.
Good use of a damage boost there to get by the Dig Dogger without taking a hit from it. He took a hit from a fireball, which damage boosted him through the Dig Dogger. The Dig Dogger does 2 hearts of damage. The fireball only does a half. So, even if he's not worried about dying, that'll save on refill time at the end of the dungeon.
The better version of candles and the cheaper version, as is the 5-finger discount version.
And it's hard to beat that value.
Right? Ganon doesn't need it. It's just stuffed away in a little corner here. Alright, another Dig Dogger here.
Yeah, this one we're going to use 2 bombs to just kill it right away, because it breaks into 3 little eyeballs instead of 1, so we don't want to go chasing those down. Oh, and Antlerz doing a bomb, a little bit risky doing a bomb force on the Dig Dogger, on the Dodongo there. If you miss that, then you're going back a couple rooms to clear out all the gorillas.
Got a good pattern for it though, so. His hand. Oh, and bombs the Wall Master, so it saves the menu press. I love it.
Yeah, if you got the bombs to spare, you might as well. So they'll both have bombs going into level 6. We won't have to deal with any ask chat for any prayers for the chapel to drop a bomb.
Bubbles picking on poor JSR there. Well, was that a lucky bomb drop for Antlers?
That was a lucky bomb drop for Antlers.
I love when you get some luck. So far, I don't think the runners have had that good of luck, unfortunately. You know, as it is luck dependent, so nothing they can do there. But both of them have been beautiful counts, so they don't even need the luck anyways. Yeah, both going in 1 bomb for JSR and 4 bombs for Antlers.
Yeah, so we got about 8 seconds difference leaving level 7, or at least at the Triforce grab in level 7. A lot can happen from here on out. So this is a very close race.
Yeah, we've seen so far just in races overall some deaths in 8 and deaths in 9. So we'll see.
Even
Other
short
these
of
runners,
that, as Antlers is showing here, the world wrap is not always free to get the first time, so you can lose a little bit of time getting these clips, getting the recorder, just going through the levels without deaths. You can, 8 seconds is nothing.
yeah. Yeah, one mean Zora there can waste at least 3 seconds.
Yeah, and sure enough, looks like in World Wrap, JSR has made up about 4 seconds, so we're neck and neck here on the recorder. They both get it first try. Oh, I don't know what happened with Antlers there, but
I don't think Antlers, his was 1 count off, because he was warping to levels, looked like 6 instead of 7? Not 6, 5? 4, I think that's 4.
no, a recorder
Oh,
on
I
level
don't know
4
what happened there.
would take you to the shop. It looks like he just
3
didn't
maybe?
get the actual recorder. He just got, maybe he was a little too low, and it didn't activate the recorder, and was just a regular recorder, because it went to 7.
Oh, okay. That was weird.
Yeah, that's what Fred's saying. Yeah, probably 1 pixel low. I think that he wasn't quite all the way clipped onto the water, so it didn't trigger the recorder.
Well,
so
that was
that'll
the need.
give JSR, not a sizable lead, but a little bit of buffer, a couple rooms here.
All right, JSR not getting the bomb in the first room, but he still has some bomb chances, but doesn't absolutely need them for anything except for a 1 wall explosion coming up soon.
And a very, very nice belfry for Antlers, considering he didn't have beams. JSR cruised through Magical Breakfast 1, making great use of the beams that he did have. We can see here it's a little bit more challenging. Antlers getting through very quickly, although at the cost of quite a bit of damage.
I always give it to you in that room, it seems, when you needed them in the other ones. All right. Antlers now
Very
going to
fast.
Magical Breakfast.
Magical Breakfast 2 for JSR. He just burned through that, and we got to be a little bit careful here for... All right, Antlers should be fine now. He's going to make it through Magical Breakfast, and there's the other bomb drop JSR was open for.
Hey-o. Let's go. JSR leaving level 6 at 22-22, looked like. Who's going to be sitting at like a low 30-ish?
Yeah, and that was just a almost flawless 6 for JSR. He cruised through that level, and Antlers didn't have a bad 6. He took a lot of damage, which is going to hurt on this refill here, but otherwise he made it through pretty fast. But JSR made it through fast and without taking damage, so that
Keeping
added
those
to the lead he
beams.
already had. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the beams are huge.
All right. Antlers with 6 bombs. So we'll need to pick up bombs somewhere. He's got opportunities. Oh, beautiful Blue Lagoon for JSR. Going into Blue Lagoon 2 here. Ooh, that was a good bomb.
That was nice. Yeah. That's played.
I think he
very
got all
nicely there.
4 of them on that one. That was 16 damage for 1 drop.
Oh, and an excellent Blue Lagoon one for Antlers, too.
Ooh, and a clean to the next room. Sometimes those guys just get in your way to get to Blue Lagoon. Big old meanies. Ooh, taking some damage. Meanwhile, JSR cleaning up the Gleeok foreheads.
Wow, and an excellent 8
That was
for
fascinating.
JSR. Antlers is not playing poorly here, but JSR is just having some very clean dungeons in the latter half of this run, and adding to the lead that unfortunately Antlers gave him with the failure to Rook order.
All right, very clean Gleeok 4, so that's going to give him a lot more health, so less refill there. Now, he's still some bombs behind Antlers, so he's going to have to farm a little bit, or maybe just kill the first Patra, you think?
Well, I think he'll try to build a count to force in the foyer.
There we
They
go,
have to
yeah.
kill that room to get a key anyway, and there's plenty of enemies along the way that he can start building a count. And it looks like JSR might be building a count as well. It doesn't hurt to have the extra bombs.
No, yeah, especially if you already used to counting. SR in 9. Antlers just a few screens behind. Some bad movements in C, and this could be Antlers all over again.
Yeah, and we saw
JSR.
JSR
touch.
forced that bomb and taken the intentional bop from the bubble to reset his count to 0 so that he knows exactly where he's at. That's always a scary damage boost. JSR's damage boosted through the pack of 3 likes. And Antlers got bopped by the bubble, so he's not going to be able to force here. He may, take the bop there, try to force in next room.
All right, Patra 1. Oh, was nice. JSR got through. Patra 1 does 2 hearts, so it's not the worst, but you definitely don't want to be taking that every day. Especially to keep your beams. Ooh, and a clock. Not even going for it. Look at JSR. Says, I don't need a clock.
Yeah, he's got plenty of bombs. So he doesn't need to worry about a force. He was just looking for raw speed there.
Antlers also getting past Patra.
Yeah, so he's got a little bit of a count here. He might be able to force in next room. I don't know what his count is for Antlers, but he's certainly within range. If not here, he'll be able to force in the room after.
Well, he took no damage, so that's a good boost for your count numbers.
He
And
may
you
have
see how
to
many
try
keys
to
he kills.
avoid some keys here to... Yeah, you see him
Yep.
avoiding one.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Took the hit. Okay, so he's gonna have to get some bombs on a luck drop.
Yeah, he's going to have to hope for Red Wizrobes to drop some bombs here, I think.
I think there is a way you can go with keys, but he doesn't have extra keys either. 1, and we might have to see a... Oh no.
Yeah, but he can clip into the stairway and try to respawn in order to get that Red Wizrobe to show up again. I don't know how many times he can do that. I think that's it. Yeah, so he knows what the spawn priority is. So he's going to go up a couple rooms and try to find some more Red Wizrobes to hopefully get some bombs from. At this point, he's just hoping for a death from JSR. That's the only hope at this point.
And JSR with 5 health probably is gonna make it. Those some good bombs. If you got them, use them, right?
Oh,
Did Antlerz just do a nice clip there without the key? That was beautiful.
he did. Yeah, he did a Kanana key. So if you are pressing up against, if you have 0 keys and you're pressing up a key door on the frame that the last enemy in the room is killed, you can go straight through the door without the key.
Yeah, and those works in any room with a shutter door. And a key door, of course. Alright, I think Antlerz just might not have this one here. JSR at Ganon. So unless he takes a death here. I wonder if Antlerz is watching.
Yeah, I'm
All
sure.
right, get your GGs ready.
Yeah, excellent job by JSR. Just a really solid back half of the run there to finish it out. Sub 30.
All right.
And with that, JSR will take game 1 versus Antlerz. We'll see if Antlerz decides to finish it out here. But game 2 will come up as with a few minutes after this race is completed. I'm going to do all 3 races if 3 are necessary. But yeah, an excellent run. It looks like Antlerz just noticing now. I think he's going to give up the ghost for this first race, regroup, and try again for the next one. But that was an excellent race. These guys were neck and neck going into the World Wrap in the Root Quarter. Even with that, coming out of level 8, they were relatively close. Unfortunate taking the bop on the bomb force for Antlerz to put the nail in the coffin. But the way JSR was finishing out that race, I'm not sure. If Antlerz was a little behind in level 6, I think JSR would have padded that lead. He was very, very clean in those last couple of dungeons. But
Forgive me.
Game 1.
I don't want to interrupt. I will let you get right back to it. We're just gonna have about a 3 minute or so break before game 2. So if you need to get up, stretch, get something to drink, by all means, go for it, and we will be back here in a few minutes for game 2.
I, for one, am not going anywhere. This is too exciting. I've got my drink in hand. I am ready to go as soon as game 2 is.
All right, I got kicked, but I am back. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, good.
So we got about a 3-minute break, and then we'll get going with game 2.
Oh man, that was a good game 1. That was a lot of back and forth.
It was, yeah. I mean, and very close through the majority of the run.
We'll see what happens next. Antlerz definitely has got the speed. Just a few mistakes that cost just enough.
Yeah, and I wonder if things compounded when it was so close
For sure,
going
yeah.
into that World Wrap. The Root Quarter mistake then I think had him pressing for a little bit of extra time, knowing how well JSR was playing. And then in trying to make up some of that time, made a couple more mistakes that put him further and further behind. Which that's what happens when you're racing.
Yeah, especially at this level. Like, at my level, 1-2 mistakes would be fine because your partner is probably going to make 1-2 mistakes. At this level, though, both of the players can run perfect, at any given time, and then you just, one thing happens, and whew.
Yeah, so for all the fans of great Zelda races in the chat, we're rooting for Antlerz in game 2 so that we can see a game 3. If JSR wins this one, he will advance to the semifinal. This is a best of 3.
I think there's only been, 2 maybe game 3s so far? Not very many.
Yeah, not very many at all.
Was the what was the official time again?
The official time, I believe, was 29:33.
29:33. That's good.
All right. I don't know how exactly we're gonna follow that up, but we're gonna try. Can't get much closer than that through most of the race, but we are back for game 2, gentlemen. Take it away.
All right, game 2. Here we go. Will we have a game 3, or will JSR move on to the semifinals in 2 games? We are about 30 minutes away from finding out. And if you're not excited for this, then I don't know what'll get you going. This is some top tier Zelda racing. We are about 25 seconds from start here. You'll see that these guys will reset their console somewhere around the 6-second mark, so that they can try to set up those manipulations in level 3 that we talked about. That we talked about in game 1, that is.
All right, and they are off. Be fun to see a 2 first, just from JSR right now.
Yeah, runners of this caliber, it is fun watching them run some different routes, and we've seen a couple of different routes through the tournament. Some of them only lose a couple of seconds. 2 first loses quite a bit. Oh, and for the second time in a row, JSR getting just tortured by the Tektite outside of level 3.
I think I heard that's what happens if you go too fast, right? Mateo gets you. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but that's what I've heard. Note, JSR took a bit of a bomb. Neither of them got first bombs. We'll have to stab everyone again. Dr. Blue's saying it's kind of speed, kind of a coin flip. Good to know, Dr. B.
Yeah, and they're both through to second vector, basically.
Got some good sync up.
Perfectly in sync. Both of them have a little bit of a count here. They're trying to force a bomb.
Oh, I'm surprised that cluster didn't give the bomb drop for JSR. Gets his bombs. He is a little 1 pack behind.
Yeah, and taking the bops too, which when you're short on bombs, being low on health doesn't help matters when you're fighting Manhandla.
Yeah, usually you don't see a death to Manhandla because of that, but oof, we'll see. It is scary with all those little shooting things coming at you. It's Manhandla if you miss him, he speeds up if you get some of his legs, and so him flying at you real fast with 1 heart will make you nervous for sure.
Yeah, of course, Antler's somewhat known in the community for his damageless runs of Zelda 1, so quite a few strategies that he learned. Oh, and unfortunately, JSR taking the death to Manhandla. Just couldn't get out of the way. Manhandla threw a barrage of fireballs at him. He's only got 1 bomb left, so he's got the raft. We're going to move on to level 4, and we'll come back and kill Manhandla later in the run.
That's smart play. I could see him pausing there, trying to dodge those beams, but there was a lot coming at you, so I don't know if there was room to escape.
Yeah, it was definitely a tricky situation to try to get out of with 1 heart.
And only 1 bomb, too. Had to use that last bomb also, so he had to try to stab all of those flower petals, I think, or heads. Not sure what they are.
Claws, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Manhandla was intended to look like. I probably saw it at some point in the original game manual.
Oh, it's a little flower thing. It's kind of cute. and
Oh, is
terrifying.
it? Okay. So JSR just a hair behind Antlerz, obviously without the manhandle a kill, so he's missing a Triforce here.
Manhandle is not too bad to have to go back to because he's only a few rooms in.
Yeah, of all the bosses to have to go back and fight again, that's probably the least impactful. It'll still cost upwards of a minute.
Yeah, we've seen some having to come back to fight Gleeok. You just come back. I don't know if that was Premier Bracket or the other bracket, but we've seen some touchbacks to bosses before.
Yeah, for sure. And you have to come back this way when you're buying your arrows and your meat. The tough part is you can't flute to the dungeon if you don't have the Triforce, so you're having to walk a number of screens. So it's not just the number of screens in the dungeon; it's the number of screens overworld you gotta traverse to get back to the dungeon entrance.
All right, Antler's having a very clean level 4. No hits, all of his counts, good combat rooms. He's just blazing through.
And the Vire's definitely not cooperating for Antlerz there. And JSR is going to have to fight this Gleeok on 2.5 hearts, which is challenging enough with 4. We'll see if he takes his time. No, he's just blazing through it as best he can. And still going to try to do a bomb force here.
Antler's set up for a bomb force, but unfortunately took a hit, so he won't get those bombs. But he's still at 5 bombs, so he's going to level 1. You can get an easy bomb setup there, so tons of chances for bombs opportunities.
An excellent force by JSR. He's got a healthy bomb count now, heading to level 1. About a screen behind Antlerz. Antlerz moving around the ghost of the levers there. They come out of the ground so often that it's just muscle memory to move out of the way, even when they don't pop out.
So a question in chat about touchback. So touchback's different if you die in a dungeon or if you die in the overworld. In a dungeon, you just have to go back to that room at some point before you beat Ganon. In the overworld, you have to go back immediately. You can't go into any dungeons or any caves or anything like that before you touch back.
Looks like Antlerz is carrying his count through. We'll see if he forces a 5er again. Double bomb drop.
Double bombs.
His rupee count was pretty healthy already, so that's probably why he forced the bombs instead of the rupee.
ASR getting his bomb, so he's now good to go. Now level 2 has good places to get bombs, but going in with bombs is of course always good.
Yeah, the dungeon will go quite a bit faster if you have bombs in hand walking in the door, and then you've got opportunities to refill along the way.
Money-wise, both players sitting pretty even. 22 for JSR, 21 for Antlerz. See if JSR skips the secret this time around. I'll save him a little bit of time from catch up that he needs. Pull 1 Triforce and heading out of there. On their way to level 2. Making these screen scrolls look very easy.
Yeah, absolutely. What I admire about these guys with the screen scrolls. So going left to right, there's one pixel where you can use a sword buffer to clip, and then there's another pixel that's closer to the edge of the screen where you can do a 1-frame tap. And these guys instantly recognize whether they're on the pixel where you can use the sword or not, and just adjust on the fly, which is pretty incredible to watch.
And that's a good screen to practice on because you have some really good actual visual aid on any spot. To, see where you are and see what you need to do. It just makes the combat with the snakes a lot easier if you have it. But, I mean, the snakes, since they rush in towards you, you're not losing too much time. And there's a great chance, because you're just fighting a million of them, you get a heart back. Yes.
JSR farming a couple extra ropes in that room, and I'm not exactly sure why.
I think they are doing it for their count, but I'm not 100% sure either. Oh, that's a beautiful Mordor pattern for JSR there. There's making easy work level 2 again. Has bombs, uses his bombs to get bombs. Let's see how this...
Yeah, another friendly Dodongo for Antlerz there. That's 2 of them. And a very nice level 2.
About... Was that like a 10:05 maybe?
10:02 for Antlerz.
10:02. And 10:18, so...
So the death in 4 also means that JSR is playing 1 heart short. Going into level 5 is where this might be the most scary. You can get through level 5 without taking a whole lot of damage if you do things right and get a little bit lucky, but things can escalate pretty quickly. Most of the enemies are going to do 2 hearts of damage apiece.
Yeah, I find the Olive Garden room isn't as deadly as just trying to leave the second room with the blue dark.
Yeah,
because you've got 2 narrow gaps you're trying to run through. That's where I always take the most damage.
Yeah, that and trying to get the bomb out of the Gibdo.
Right, Antlerz in 5. JSR coming up behind
So
him.
for the question in chat, JSR took a death on Manhandle in level 3, so he has not quite completed that dungeon yet, which means he hasn't gotten the heart container from the boss. He will have to go back to level 3 at some point to finish that. So, despite it looking like about a 15 or so second lead for Antlerz, it's actually quite a bit more at the moment due to that death.
Yeah, I'm going to guess he's going to do blow the whistle, do his shopping, and then just go to 3, and then go to level 7. But we could be wrong. We'll see. Oh, those are some good groupings for Antlerz. At least 8 damage each bomb there.
Yeah, nice Olive Garden for Antlerz. We'll see how JSR does coming in. Ooh, that was very close. And he did take a bomb.
Beautiful second and third bombs there.
He's only got 4 sword hits to finish this off, so if you're gonna miss the bomb force, that's the way you want to do it. Is not leave many of them alive when you finally run out. That won't cost him too much. He's still at full health for the moment, so that could have been a much worse disaster.
Luckily, there's a nice bomb pack here in these Gibdos, so you can just grab them on the way back out. And then you've got some nice dig. No, I'm saying the wrong thing. And handle us. Nope, saying the wrong thing again. Scary dinosaurs that you can farm off of.
Scary dinosaurs that Antlerz wanted to get to a little quicker. He tried walking through the shutter door before killing the Gibdos. I'm not sure. Maybe he was looking to see where he was at in the race, but Yeah, you got to clear the room out. And yeah, I agree with One Vixen in chat. These guys are phenomenal. They are number 6 and 7 on the leaderboard all time. Their PBs are a second apart. They are some of the best Zelda 1 runners there are. So this is just a treat to watch them.
All right, both of them got their 8 count. Both of them at full health. One heart difference full health, but still full health. So this is just basically they just gotta walk the level now. There's no actual worry about dying or anything like that here. Unless something goes real weird and then we get to watch something happen.
Yeah, at this level, it's going to be very rare to die in the back half of the dungeon when you're going through it with full health.
Okay, so I'm feeling confident. Going for that second rung there is a little bit diddly if you're not careful. So a lot of runners will go to the very bottom there where the Pole's voices are. They're a lot easier to avoid.
And they're both through 5 relatively cleanly. Yeah, that was certainly a very good race 5 for both of them.
All right, so now we're gonna see maybe the divergence coming up soon. There's not too many more opportunities because you're gonna get magical swords here after this next dungeon. So you might beat level 7 first, or grab your cleanup JSR beforehand. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, one way or the other, he has to beat level 3 before he can go get the magical sword. So it'll either be 3-7 or 7-3. Might be nice to have the extra heart for level 7.
All right, Antler's building up his count for the River Force. I can't remember. One of them got it and one of them got bopped, but I don't remember now.
Yeah, JSR got the River Force. Antlerz is the one who got bopped last time. So we'll see if he can get revenge.
JSR taking a whistle. 4.
I'm not sure that was intentional. I think maybe he set up the root quarter and then maybe he was trying to flute to 3 to finish it off. That maybe just a brain fart there, because that would have been the right recorder to go to 3. So maybe a clever idea to save some time that didn't quite work out. Doc Blue saying that was deliberate. It's faster to walk from level 4. So there you go.
Interesting.
This just goes to show these guys know what they're doing. And despite the color palettes looking very similar, they are in different dungeons.
Antlerz with 6 bombs, about to get his red candle.
All right, and thankfully JSR gets through and still has 7 bombs, so he won't have to farm for bombs in level 7. That was a little scary. He might have chosen to sword down manhandle at a certain point in order to make sure that he would have enough bombs to get through 7.
Antlerz trying to get that lucky bomb. It didn't, fortunately. This room here does have some stagnant bombs. It's a little bit slower. You can use your red candle to clear them out, but avoiding it is usually pretty good if you can. See if he tries to go for some scary dinosaur kills again.
Nice friendly fairy there to help refill health. He's not too worried about the health exactly, but it'll save on the refill at the end of the dungeon. I believe it's about 1/3 of a second per heart that needs to be refilled at the end of the dungeon, so the fairy pickup saves you about a second. I might be off on the fraction there.
I don't remember. I maybe 42 frames, but I don't remember. About half a second, yeah. All right, Antler's making easy work of level 7. Got the bombs. A few bombs though.
Onto the second
Aquamentus.
Aquamentus of the run.
Just stab.
Saving the bomb for later.
Only need 1 going into 6, but I could see saving 2 just to have. Aquamentus, I mean, he goes down pretty quick. You don't have to worry about getting those extra kills on.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy to dodge some of the damage. You're not taking a lot from those fireballs. And now Antlerz is off to do what we call the world wrap. He's going to do a couple of screen scrolls and end up on the far side of the world to pick up a couple of hearts, and then use a trick we call the recorder in order to get back to the graveyard and pick up that magical sword. So he has set up his recorder so that when he's facing up and blows it, it will take him to level 7. But there's a trick in the game here where if you clip onto the water and blow your recorder and have it pick you up and carry you across a dock, it will activate the raft, and for some reason that I don't understand, will then take you 1 screen north and 1 screen west of your intended destination. So in this case, we can save a bit of walking.
I believe the answer is 8-bit magic.
And you can see Antlerz just holding the up button there through that whole recorder. Little Link's feet were moving. He wasn't going to have the same mistake as last race. JSR getting a nice bomb drop there. So these guys need the 12 hearts that they have in order to pick up that magical sword. So that's why we're going out of our way to pick up some heart containers. The magical sword saves a ton of time. It does
4 damage.
4x what the wood sword does.
If wood sword, which deals 1, then you have the white sword, which neither of these runners will get, which deals 2, and then finally the magical sword, which deals 4, which is the same as bombs. So basically every swing is 1 bomb hit.
And Antlerz getting a nice double bomb drop in the cathedral, so he's at full bombs. He'll be able to. We'll see if he uses some of the bombs to speed up some of these rooms.
Quite no. Like you only use silver arrows like a few times if you're just speedrunning.
See Antlerz making good use of the beams that he still has going into Magical Breakfast too. Unfortunately, JSR, the recorder, because he hadn't beaten level 3 when he set it up, I think that messed up his recorder count. So he ended up recordering to level 5. When you recorder to level 5, it will take you out of bounds, which puts you back at original spawn. He tried to fix it there by recording to level 4, and then did a recorder which put him back 1 north and west of level 4. So he's having to do the long walk of shame here to the magical sword.
Now we see the reverse from last match, giving Antlerz a ton of breathing room. Even 6, 22 per D.
Enough
8
breathing
seconds
room
behind.
that he's probably going to think about getting a potion on his way to level 9.
We'll see.
He certainly doesn't need it, but
Yes.
I think it's a lot about risk. How risky
You don't need it
feel
until
like.
you absolutely need it. For sure.
He may feel like, with the skills that he has in Damageless, that even if he dies, then he's confident in getting back through the dungeon with 3 hearts to start with. So maybe the the potion is just not worth it for him.
All right, JSR getting his bomb, so we don't have to see a Gleeok here.
Interesting. Antler's forcing a bomb in Blue Lagoon 1. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that. That's incredible. So he had a count coming in. He managed to avoid a bunch of hits, kill, I think it was the third or fourth Dark Nut that dropped the bomb. So he was avoiding all those fireballs as well as killing the Dark Nuts. And got the bomb drop. Yeah. Great point by Vaughn in chat. He probably got some hits on the Manhandla, so he knew he was close to the 10 count that he would need, and just figured he'd go for it.
All right. Both in nice heavy combat rooms here. SR cleaning up Magical Breakfast Room 2 just as Antlerz is cleaning up his Gleeok.
Yeah, and a pretty good level 8 for Antlerz there. He's got to feel pretty good about that, given his lead. Just solid all the way through. He's a full level 8 ahead. Now flute to 1, and we'll see now in the next screen. If he goes south, he's getting a potion. Looks like he's setting up to get a count, so he is foregoing the potion. He's just going to go into level 9. Got some confidence. We got plenty of bombs. Let's go. Jets are finishing up level 6 at 2511.
Probably gonna see it close to 30, maybe even a sub 30 here, you think? Not sure how fast the level 9 is for him.
It's close. At the moment, you know, based on his PB splits, it's looking like it's around a 29:45 pace if he finishes level 9 at the same pace that he did in his PB. So it's certainly possible, and maybe that's part of why he decided to go potionless. Maybe he's
go for it, yeah.
Pushing for that sub 30.
It's his bomb drop. A nice clock, just to help out.
The one downside of the clock there is you can't reset your count like we saw them do in the last run on your way out of the room.
JSR having a beautiful combat. Only took one bop from a little shot.
Transition room giving him a little bit more trouble. Oh, the
Double
handler's
hit.
getting a left catcher.
Triple.
3 pops.
Antlerz showing all the love today. Now he's probably questioning the potion decision. Well, that was a good fireball dodge there by Antlerz. Or magic beams.
Took another touch from a blue Wizrobe. He's gonna have to start being a little bit careful here. The further he goes and the lower his health goes, the more this could become a race if he takes a death, because JSR will be into 9 in not too much time. And
JSR doing a 4-headed Patra bomb setup and gets it. That's incredible.
To answer a question in chat, no, the blue Wizrobe beams do 2 hearts of damage, and the red Wizrobe beams will do 4 hearts of damage. So, yeah, things can get dicey pretty quickly.
Now the bops, isn't it? Is it 1 and 2?
Very smart here. He got the clock. He's going to clear this room out, or at least clear most of it out, so that on the way back through, even if he messes up that reverse clip, he'll be able to get through just fine.
Good reverse sieve by Antlerz. Got some good bombs in that corner there.
Oh no, and Antlerz using one too many bombs in reverse C. He is now 1 bomb short
Oh, I didn't even notice
See what
that.
he chooses to do. He does have one bomb still, so that gives him some options. Hopefully he notices, and then he can use the likes and whatnot to force on his way through. He knows what his count is right now because he just took a bop on the way out. And
Okay, I see him deliberately stabbing some keys there, so I think he knows what's up. Apparently there's a Kananiki route that he can do with one bomb. Gotta kill enough Patra babies, but not too many that you throw off your bomb count. Very delicate.
Yeah, there you go. And he's going to go back and force in this Zol room, which is very heads-up play. Well, let it not be said that Antlers didn't make this interesting.
Gave JSR like a couple rooms for free, but he's still gonna have to play really hard. More Antlers is gonna have to mess up versus JSR, because even if JSR plays his little hard out, Antlers is just too far ahead at this point.
Yeah, Patra 2 trying to add a little bit of drama there as well, pinning Antlers in the top left corner. Good patience and a little bit of luck to not be fully trapped there, or not get bopped while he was trapped there in the upper left corner. Yeah, and just showing great awareness and knowledge of the game to be able to come up with a plan and execute on it to get the bombs that he needs and not rely on luck of global bomb drops.
Yeah, especially when you're the one with the controller. When you're the one watching, you can come up with a million things like, oh, do this.
Seeing some beam strats in reverse C for JSR. A good start to the room using the beams. Gets through with just one bop taken.
Yeah, pretty quickly. Alright, here we go. Antler is fighting his Patra.
No fast Patra, which is not a surprise given the stakes and the health situation.
Nice fast casual Patras, I like to say.
There we go, and we got a Ganon fight. 4 hits with
Alright.
the magical sword and 1 silver arrow, but we gotta find Ganon. Hits him in the top left. After each hit, Ganon will retreat to the top left or bottom left or bottom right. There's the 4th hit and the silver arrow. Get your GGs in chat for Antlers. We have a game 3. Let's go.
Let's go. He clipped through the fire.
He did damage boost through the fire there, yeah. Yeah. So 31-17 in game 2. See if JSR decides to finish it out. He's on his way back from getting the silver arrow.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, no, he's on his way to P3. I'm behind a few rooms. It's a good level 9 for JSR. He just kept plodding away after the mistakes he made, and we get
Gets
a
the grayscale. The actual winner here. I think that's, you legally have to.
Looks like he started to go for fast Patra and bailed once he got hit.
Oh, gets a swag error. You have 1 frame, I think, to do something. You enter that room.
Getting the stun lock, trapping Ganon in the bottom left. Get your GGs in chat for JSR.
GG.
Given the death in 3 and the problems with the root quarter, finishing only about a minute behind is quite the accomplishment. Both of our runners have taken 1 game. I imagine we'll take another quick break here, and then we'll be right back at it for game 3. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, go grab a drink. Some snacks, because we're going to be in for a tight race 3 here.
What a great way to kick off the quarterfinals of the tournament. This is a very exciting set of races. I'm hoping this one goes right down to the wire. I want to see both runners in level 9, at least a room or two apart. Rather, within a room or two of each other.
More into the breach. Here we go. Game 3. This is it. Antlerz, JSR, and McMonkey and Red Eye.
Let's get hyped. Let's have a good race. We don't want to see any deaths. We want to see everybody get through the run cleanly. We want to see 2 sub-30s. We want to see some manips. We want to see some hype in chat. Let's go.
Now, in the hypothetical of a tie, what do we do here? I can see it happening today.
That's a great question, and we've got some tournament admins in chat who I'm sure would be able to give a much more accurate answer than I could.
A re-race.
Re-race.
That's what
that
you
makes
said.
sense. Oh, and Antlerz off on the second screen scroll there. You had to reload the screen. He'll get some different spawns. Obviously no manip for him. Looks like JSR's close, at least on timing. Yep, he got the manip.
Ooh.
Now that bop he took after getting the bomb was intentional. It was part of the manipulation that'll carry this forward through to what we call the second factor. So you'll see he took the bop from the spike trap. He's going to take a bop from the bat here, and that will give him an ideal pattern. Look at that. They all just walk in there. He gets a bomb drop. He gets them all killed. And he gets down the stairs at about the 112 mark, which is blazingly fast. Meanwhile, Antlerz having to kill all of the dark nuts in first factor, and he's going to have to clear this one out the slow way, but getting some nice bomb drops and patterns to help narrow that gap a little bit.
Yeah, so showing off the power of those manips, because he just breezed through it.
Yeah, it certainly helps to know where every enemy is going to be on every screen throughout the dungeon. You just have to have frame perfect inputs.
The entire dungeon. A big deal.
Yeah, and you see that little movement he did there? That's to keep the manip going so that he knows exactly where Manhandla is going to be, which did allow him to place a bomb in a pretty good spot. Unfortunately, he didn't get it in one, but got it with the second bomb, and he is out at 210.
210, that's
for
crazy.
A race is crazy fast.
Antlerz is right behind him.
A little bit more trouble with Manhandla, but he got through, and he'll be out at 228. So you can see the power of the manip. I mean, obviously the lost screen scroll that cost somewhere around 6 seconds or so. The rest was all manip, so about 10-12 seconds difference just from being able to get the manips.
All right, our predictions for the ties are coming true. We got the no deaths in 3.
Yeah, and for Antlerz, you just got to settle in. You got a little bit of a deficit. You just play your game. Anything can happen. It's got quite a long way to go.
Oh yeah, we've seen plenty of swaps between these two, especially in that first race there early on. Oh, these are the little red keys for the bomb count.
Yeah, this is certainly an unconventional for JSR so far. He looks like he forced a 5er, and then I don't know if that was a global drop or well, he knows what his count is because he just forced another bomb, so he knows what he's doing. It's not the pattern you typically see in 4, but he's making it work, which is really a hallmark of being a better runner like these guys. Oh, a little scary.
I thought that Volt was gonna step one too many, but he got it right in time.
Yeah. These guys have backups for their backups. They know the game so well, and they've played it so many times. I mean, just looking on the screen, Antlerz has over 19,000 attempts at this category, which is just insane.
Yeah, that's just on his looks like Cananophone route. I can't see what his little icon is.
Yeah, that's right. Great Vire pattern for JSR.
Yeah. 2 bomb room is crazy fast. He didn't even have to swing his sword. Oh, look at this. Making easy work out of him. No hits. And the Gleeok 2 hits.
A nice level 4 for JSR. And a nice Gleeok for Antlerz as well. They're both going to be leaving level 4 with 8 bombs, so no pressure to force a drop in level 1. They can focus on building their Ruby count.
Yeah, 15, 15, 2, and 8. They have identical resources. Interesting to see what they leave with, resource-wise. JSR getting his pirouette, as they call it. I did like swordless. I think he said it's French for turning around quickly. Made me laugh. Oh, look at that. Beautiful bombing again. All of them killed in one bomb.
Yeah, enemies definitely behaving for JSR so far.
I mean, this is the second time he's whooped, or third time going, and they're probably all scared of him now.
Yeah, I think I would have given up at 2. Just take whatever you need. I'll get out of the way.
Antlerz didn't get them all, but he got a very quick cleanup on that last Renegade one at the bottom there. Basically didn't lose any time, because while the bomb was going off, he was stabbing him.
Oh, and a great pattern for the Gorillas there. Looks like Antler's making up a little bit of time.
Definitely getting.
It is about a 19-second difference right now.
All right, Antler's a little half heart down, but beams aren't crazy important for any of these fights coming up.
And JSR, knowing what his count is, forcing a 5-er on a Wallmaster, 31 rupees, leaving level 1 is a very healthy rupee count.
Yeah, basically you're almost guaranteed like a 10 and 2. Definitely skipping that Armos bonus this time again.
I see some references to a 30-30 route in chat. I don't know enough about the 30-30 route to talk about it intelligently, but I do know that it exists. So we'll see if JSR does something a bit unconventional here.
Yeah, we'll see. I definitely haven't seen a 30-30 route so far in my races I've watched. Alright, I'm skipping that Armo, so he might come back for it if he is. Yeah, plenty of time into to play around with how much rupees you have and what you want to do afterwards. That anything beforehand is just kind of a lot of guesswork.
Yeah, looking like in chat, he is not doing the 30-30 route based on his movement so far. Which makes sense. You know, in a race situation, there's something to be said for improvising when you have to, but going off script to do a route that maybe you're not as familiar with, you don't run as often, is probably adding a little bit too much risk for not enough reward.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with little things like your whistle counts. If you're just doing off of muscle memory, but you did a different route, you can hurt yourself there.
Yeah, we saw that last race.
Very good rooms for JSR and Antlers. Antlers getting a nice mold dorm. JSR's just crushing this level 2 here. He had beams the whole time.
And JSR, I don't think has had a single friendly to Dongo tonight.
Antler's getting like the perfect setup. Turns left, right when you need him. Alright, making up that time.
Yeah, he made up about half of the gap in that level 2. So as good as JSR's level 2 looked, Antler's was just a little bit better. We are now at about a 10-second gap between the two.
And now a good or a bad Olive Garden is going to make a huge difference here for the runners.
Yeah, 10 seconds is definitely well within the spread of variance that level 5 and in particular Olive Garden can give you.
Sure. There's a lot goes into just getting to the room, getting your counts right, not taking any hits. Then when you're in the room, then you got everything to worry about the roomness. Fancy HUD clips, which are fun to see, but definitely not usually worth the setup.
Alright, both getting through the tech-type screens with no bops to reset the counts, so that's good. They'll both have healthy counts walking in the door. We've got a race here. This is exciting.
I'm spacing the name of the little ground guys that pop up with the red.
The levers.
Levers. The lever into 5. He has gotten me so many times.
Yeah, we
Fortunately,
see
Antler's
trying to get another kill because he did take a bop to the first Gibdo room.
Gonna give JSR just a little bit of advantage here. Makes it first in to the Olive Garden room. Antlers can go south. There's a few keys down here, but he's opting to avoid that.
Yeah, he's got a 5 count right now, so it's still possible to force a bomb if they cooperate. He's got to be a little bit more strategic, which generally means a little slower. I think he just needs one more. There you go. He got the force. Well done by Antlers. And since he's got a 4 count, he's going to save it so he doesn't have to deal with the Dodongo. He'll claw back a little bit of time there.
All right, both getting a very healthy breadstick time. Up some Dodongo actions here. All right, the Gibdo's playing nice for JSR this time around. Yeah, it looks like Antlers is going to get a pretty good... Took a bit of a love tap, but still very quick.
I think it was worth it to not have to chase down the Gibdo and wait. It would have taken a while. And we're going to see this gap just disappear. I think Antlers is about to take the lead here, which is the benefit of getting that force. Oh, we are now perfectly in sync for the back half of level 5. Let's go. This is what we wanted to see in a game 3. How exciting is this? Antlers making up the gap. He had a little bit of struggles in the Olive Garden with the low global or consecutive count, but fighting through it and making up all of that gap, and JSR getting even more unfriendly Dodongos.
I probably won't see too much of a time change here on the little Dig Dogger pattern, but they could go a little wonky sometimes. Just head way north.
Well, we're going to see a little bit of difference in refill. So JSR with a small lead due to getting through the back half with basically no damage taken. And we are off to level 7. We'll see if either of them can get the river force this time through.
Oh yeah, because both are sitting at 8 and 9, just extra rupees.
And not a lot of
They've had very close resources this entire run.
Which is what we want to see from a game 3. You don't want to see, one runner getting much more lucky or unlucky than the other one. We want to see a fair fight.
And buying that, what I assume is room temperature cave meat. Yum yum. To be fair, it's the only food I've seen in Hyrule, so you gotta get that where you can. You should count the literal hearts of your enemies as food.
And if you're working for Ganon, you probably don't have great taste to begin with. Not making the best life decisions.
Not at all. Especially for the Gurias, which have the ability to communicate in English, it seems. To tell people, not to rat us out to Ganon.
Alright, JSR first one in. He's got a count going. We've got 2 scary rooms to get through here. A lot of boomerangs flying around. We've got some fireballs. Oh, great job.
Buck Police making a funny joke over in chats, saying there's food all over Hyrule. Have you never had an Octorok? You're a monster.
JSR getting the bomb force. Oh, we got it for Antlers too. Let's go. We both have bombs for 6. We are half a screen apart here. They both have plenty of health. This is a race.
Now, if you've never seen this mechanic, JSR, he set down the bait there, and you can see them all headed towards it. There's a few enemy groups that they'll chase the bait, so it's kind of fun. You don't see it usually in speedruns at all, but it is a fun little casual playthrough mechanic you can play around with.
And I want to go back to that river force. Both of these guys had very challenging patterns in the rooms leading up to the river room, and both just reacted perfectly to avoid taking hits. And it's a big risk. Even in the river room, we saw Antlerz used a couple of bombs before he got the force, and he was staring down a bubble, staring down the bats and the boomerangs, getting through without getting hit to get that force. Really great job by both runners.
Yeah, very tricky and very skillfully done for both runners.
Antlerz taking just a little bit more damage here. A couple bops from those boomerangs, but we are both killing the Dig Dogger.
Almost in the same spot, too.
Antlerz doing a good job to move out of the way of the fireballs there.
All right, we got some nice arrow action. Looks like Antlerz missed his bomb strike. Can't tell if he was setting up for bombs or just kind of using them. Switch to arrows just to be safe.
Yeah, it was so close to getting through without having a menu, but once he took that second bubble hit, it wasn't worth it anymore.
Yeah, it's faster to menu than to redo a wall of level 7. Oh, so many chances for bombs there, and Antlerz did not get lucky.
JSR did, and he was able to use a bomb on the boss to save a little bit of time. He'll have a small lead leaving level 7.
Antlerz has his one bomb for 6, so he doesn't have to be too worried there. Just needs to get him at some point. At some point does usually come up fairly well in the later half of 6, because there's all kinds of Vires and Wizrobes for you at the end there.
Yeah, I think it's harder to not get bombs in 6 than it is to get them.
For sure.
Unless your name starts with Y must.
Right, some more world wraps. Alright, now here we go. This is... Neither one of them gets any errors here. We'll have a beautiful race. Is our first up to bat. Looks good.
Link's feet moving like crazy again. I think these guys are both gonna be just pressing up on that D-pad for the foreseeable future.
3 more whistles left in the game, so I think they've got it at this point.
All right, looks like we got right at the 20-minute mark. Well, JSR is going to do a little tricordering here. He'll enter at 20:06. And Antlerz will be 5 seconds behind. This is exactly what we wanted from the race tonight. We got a Cathedral Bomb for both of them. Antlerz sitting on 5, JSR sitting on 8.
Oh no! JSR had such a clean Belfry, and then right at the end, the little shooters decided they didn't want him to have beam swords.
And same thing for Antlerz, so neither of them will have beams for Magical Breakfast 1 or 2.
I think Antlerz was just being sportsmanship there and just took a bop on purpose. Wanted the race to, be as close as it could.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Oh, yeah, look at those bomb drops for JSR. Just left and right.
Boy, he just keeps getting bomb drops.
Combat. That was bonkers. Ooh. Antlerz being a little up in their face, taking some damage, but killing them quick. Definitely made up some time in that room.
Oh no, taking a bubble, that'll narrow the lead a little bit. That bubble hit. on JSR's side.
Bubbles
both
are
have
funny
full
'cause-
bombs going into level 8. Let's go.
Casually, they're nothing, but speedrunning, they're the nightmares. Oh, look at this difference. This is nothing.
We've got about 8 seconds separating our runners, leaving level 6. 2 more dungeons to go. Lots of room to change the lead multiple times.
They're close enough that depending on how much health you're leaving, 8 can actually dramatically affect the right here with these two.
Absolutely. That's a great point. We'll see how much risk they're willing to take in exchange for speed going through these Blue Lagoon rooms.
Because, I mean, a few hearts, nothing, but if you're down to 2 or 3, that's going to be a little bit of a refill, giving your opponent just enough time to catch up. Oh, look at that. That is some beautiful work. I don't know if JSR was setting up for another bomb drop, but he got a force 5.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying the same thing Antlerz did last run, where he did get some bops on the manhandle on the way through and was just hoping for a bomb drop.
Oh, that is
What
a
a
quick
Blue Lagoon
room.
too!
And he's
Holy
out of there
moly.
already. Antlerz had just a little bit of bad luck from those dark nuts, but finished them off very nicely.
And JSR somehow with beams going into Gliok number 2.
He's probably going to leave with just 0 heart missing.
Well, it's hard not to take bops on this Gliok, but we'll see what happens. I mean, the beams
Run into
certainly
a
help.
head. Oh, look at that. Oh no, we got a force 5 again.
I'm not sure that was well, I guess that could have been a forced 5, yeah.
I don't think it meant to be. I think his count was a little too high, actually.
So
Not sure what happened,
he's got a little bit of bomb trouble going into 9. We're only a few seconds apart. Antlerz with the healthier bomb count. He's still going to try to set up a force in the foyer. We'll see what we can do for JSR. He definitely needs a force somewhere along the line.
Yeah, three's scary. I'm guessing that when he saw the rupee, he was also saying, "Oh no, what happened?" It's gonna give Antlerz a little bit of time while he's thinking about what to do.
Yeah,
he'll probably just get it right here.
Is definitely gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you just get lucky.
Very good.
If nothing else, it was gonna take up some mental real estate.
And gets the bomb drop.
Another bubble
Pretty
though.
And Antlerz got his too. Let's go. Alright, so basically you're just gonna have about, what, 3 forced combat rooms at this point?
Yeah, just some of the more difficult combat rooms in the game left.
Those are gonna make all the difference here. Alright, well now we did get, in the very beginning, if they're down to the second, there will be a re-race. So we'll see if we do get a tie.
Oh, Antlerz with a little bit of a stutter step there, missed the doorway, took a bop from the Patra. It shouldn't be a big deal. Not having beams will hurt a little bit. These guys are good enough to have specific beam strats, although JSR just loses his beams in next room as well, so not too much lost there.
They're just going back for that heart. Because you can get beams back pretty easy if you're only 1 or 2 hearts down.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him kill some Zols here to try to get the beams.
And gets him. And gets his bomb drop. Let's go.
There we go. Just get everything from the Zols, no problem.
Patcher 2 being a little mean, but JSR goes through him like second attempt. Same thing for Antlers. Just a little bit of hesitation to keep his beams. Oh, lost him anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, look at those bomb drops for JSR. Just all the bombs.
All the bombs and the blue Wizrobes just grouping up together for them too. Like that was some good patterns for him. Oh, and
ooh, that was not too shabby for Antlers either. And gets the stabs in. Oh, Heart disappeared, but he could have left with beams.
We've got a race here.
The Keys is helping him pick up those silver, and he murders him for his helpfulness. Whew, Antlers. Those like-likes are scary.
So JSR building a little bit more of a lead here. Antlers is going to need some kind of mistake from JSR to slow him down. Oh, and the like's not playing friendly for Antlers.
JSR ignoring the clock again. I don't think JSR likes clocks.
Nice trap room from JSR. A quick trap room for Antlers as well. This could come down to Ganon warps. I think JSR's got enough of a lead to sustain Ganon warps, unless he loses track of Ganon.
And Antlers is taking some beatings, just trying to beat this as quickly as he can here. Wonder if he's watching the JSR.
Risky strat for JSR. He went for fast Patra. He's only got 4 hearts. He is 1 hug away from death.
Right, this is it. We got 1 Patra and 1 Ganon.
And he's got the stun lock. JSR's going to take game 3.
Good job. Oh, and Antlers was just right behind them.
Entering Ganon's room as JSR's leaving. And get your GGs in chat. What a race.
That was incredible.
29-13 for JSR. We're going to be about 20 seconds for Antlers here if he gets a good Ganon. He does. He gets the stun lock as well. What a final race. We were 20 seconds apart on the last race in Game 3. What a way to kick off the quarterfinals. This is what we asked for, right? We wanted a close race. We wanted to come down to the wire. We wanted them both to be sub 30. Got everything I asked for in this one.
We didn't get any grayscale though, but I mean,
that's fair.
We did get Blue Link. That's always fun to see him.
We're joined now by Antlers, GG Antlers.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, and we're also joined by JSR. What a great set of races. You guys put on a heck of a show. That final race was very exciting. At the beginning, I know you guys couldn't hear me, but I asked for both of you to be close together in level 9 within a couple screens. I wanted both of you to get sub 30s. You gave everything I asked for. What are your thoughts coming out of that series?
I knew going up against Antlers, I mean, this was going to be as evenly matched as you can get. I mean, we're literally next to each other on the leaderboards, and he works just as hard as I do, if not harder. And seeing his ascension, not only up the charts, but just his skill in racing and randomizer, like he just kicked butt in the rando tournament. Like this was anyone's race to win, and he took it all the way to the end. And we both made our mistakes in games 1 and 2, and luckily it gave us the opportunity for a race 3. And Antlers, my dude, GG, man. You took me to the limit, bro.
Yo, GG's, man. Yeah, it was close until I botched the block clip in Patra 2A. I was lined up and my thumb slipped off of it, and that was when I knew. I was like, unless you make a massive mistake, it's over right here. but yeah, it was a good series. I had some bad luck or something I'm not sure of that happened in race 1, and then you had some bad manhandle luck in race 2, so it all kind of came down to race 3. So it's all you can really ask for.
Yeah, absolutely. And I assume you're referring to the recorder that happened in game.
Yeah, I was literally holding up the whole time.
We were
I
all
don't know
surprised.
what happened. Like I just didn't. The whirlwind looked like it was exactly lined up with the raft spot, and the root quarter just didn't rue. It just quartered.
Yeah, it was very strange.
We won't talk about my root quarter adventures in race 2.
Yeah, everybody had one fun adventure.
No, I forgot that I didn't have the Triforce in 3, and so when I went for the first root quarter, it took me to 5, so I home warped because I was at 4. Oh, that's because after I went shopping, I recorded to 4 so I could go finish 3, and then I
gotcha.
forgot that I did that. That's what happened. That's right. That's what happens when you try to get cued on the fly. But I mean, that's kind of what happens in Zelda racing. That's what makes this so great.
But I mean, you guys improvised and showed a lot of skill on the fly. There were, these races threw some things at you. In the races where you won, I mean, the river forces alone in that last race for the two of you, getting to the river room and then making it through the river room with the force, just showing off an amazing amount of skill. Those were not easy patterns going into the river room to get through.
Yeah, I know mine was pretty bad. I didn't see JSRs. I was only really looking at the restream after at Triforce grabs, because it messes me up so bad. Like, I tried it one time in level 5, I think in race 2, and you saw what happened. Like, I forgot what room I was in.
Yeah, it's even worse for me, man. Like, I can't look. I peek at specific spots.
Yeah.
After level 8 and at the silver arrows. And when I looked at both of those in this race, you were right on my tail. And it basically makes your adrenaline start going a million times worse. And that can even happen when you're in my situation in race 2. Because when I looked over and saw what happened in reverse C, my heart started pounding because I was just going through the motions. I was ready to forfeit as soon as you got done. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my God. I'm by the way, super proud of you and GG on figuring out how to get out of that pickle without, messing up. Because a lot of people panic in those situations, and it just shows, like, you're a veteran of the game now, man. You're one of the best, and you deserve to win this just as much as I did. And like, you are one of my older friends at this point now, and just like I said before, man, I'm so proud of seeing how you've come up in both communities, and you're a hell of a runner, man. It was an honor to get to race you, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Likewise. And I kind of did panic, honestly. If I was smart, I would have just grabbed the key in Patra 2 like I did in the first race, and then Kanana key and go up from there. I would have been fine, and that would have taken a hell of a lot less time. But for some reason, I didn't think to do that in the second race. But yeah, that got a lot closer than I was expecting it to there at the end. You really turned it on. But yeah, I was like that. I kind of panicked after Patra 1 in that second race. He went left and then just sat on the door. So so like I kept getting bopped down too. So like I took 3 hits in there, and then I was trying to be safe, and I should have just done my strats in next room because I took 1 or 2 more hits in there, and then I was really feeling it. I was trying to force a fairy going to reverse C, and I was on 15, and then the reds spawned on top of each other, so I missed the 16.
Were you able to get the manip in race 3?
No, I didn't get the manip in any of them. Race 3 was the worst attempt. Like, I at least got the patterns in race 1, I think. In race 2, I was early and didn't stutter right. And then in race 3, I failed the screen scroll. Like, legit transitioned the screen. So I had awful patterns all through level 3.
So I got a burned steak, early steak, and I was able to stutter it into steak sauce. I took it all the way to Manhandle. I gridded right before Manhandle, so that was a little a little exciting.
Okay.
But that might have been the difference in the race, man. Like that's incredible how like closely matched we are.
Yeah, it was coming out of 3. It was an 18-second difference, and you finished about 20 seconds apart. So, that does account for a good chunk of the difference. Although, I mean, a lot of things happened over the race where that lead, shrunk right down, built back up again. It was going back and forth through the whole 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. We when we're both on and one of us has a lead, it's really, really hard to come back from. So it's because there's just not much there's not much time there. If we're executing, there's really not much time to get unless something disastrous happens at that point. So the fact that I was able to slightly bring that back was fun. But yeah, I think I might have even at one point in 9 had a little bit of a lead too, and then that Patrick. But it was really close, really fun.
Yeah, same. I had a blast, man. I'll never get tired of this adrenaline rush.
yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it makes it really hard to do manips. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like once you're out of once I'm out of level 3, I'm fine. Like there's no nerves at all. But like level 3 is just so scary. So many things can just like cost you minutes in there.
But yeah, I'm grateful that we got the chance to finally meet up in a tournament. I think was this our first match, or did we meet up in a randomizer tournament at some point?
No, I don't think we've ever raced in vanilla, or I mean, we definitely haven't raced in vanilla because this is the first vanilla tournament I've done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we've ever played in rando. Pretty sure
I would
we
love
haven't.
that at some point, man. Like you have improved to the point where I think you'd probably take me, but I think the rush would be awesome, man. And like just in general, like you're the man, dude. Like I was saying before, man. Like I'm just really proud of you and like grateful I had the chance to race you.
I appreciate it, man. And yeah, GG's. It's crazy how quick you got back in form. And yeah, it's gonna be fun watching the rest of the tournament. I'm excited.
I'm kind of excited in a different way because like you never look ahead in a tournament ever. But now that I've come out on this one, I'm kind of looking at my opponent potentially. And for those that know, in 2019, I got the opportunity to go all the way to the finals. And I mean, this was 4 years of experience ago. I don't know if I'm as much of a choke artist, but I definitely didn't bring my A game, and I got swept by Rooslugs in the finals. And he's a hell of a runner. And then BT's is a legend of the game as well. And we've raced at GDQs, and I've never beaten them in a meaningful race. So either way, I get the opportunity to race one of them, which is really exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Nothing but good matchups left at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to.
It's going to be a heck of a rest of the quarterfinals and semis. Every one of these matches is going to be a great watch.
Mm-hmm. Red Octorock, Big Monkey, thank you guys both for the comms. Y'all are awesome. And of course, all the folks over at Zelda Speedruns, all the admin of the tournament. And I'll let you guys get back to closing the show out. But thanks, everyone. I really appreciate the love. And
seconded.
And thanks again, Antlerz.
Yep, thank you, dude. GG's and best of luck, man. So it was a blast.
Thanks, dude. Same here.
All right, and with that, I think we will close out this race. Thank you all for watching.
In an hour, there'll be another one. I think it's on ZSR1 again here. So
yeah, it'll be right here, top of the hour. It'll be Shaddy and Ice Blue.
Stay tuned for that.
As we move on in the quarters. Let me add my GGs as well. Please give both runners a follow if somehow you aren't following already, as well as our comms tonight, McMonkey and Red Octorock. Thank you both.
Pleasure.
Yeah, I don't know. It could have gotten much closer than that. So the race tonight has its work cut out to live up to that, but we will see. We are going to head over to ZSR2 at the moment for a Link to the Past rando tournament race. Until, again, top of the hour, about 35 minutes from now, right back here. Shaddy and Ice Blue as the quarters continue. And plenty more coming up later this week on the schedule, so keep an eye out on that. Any final thoughts before we head on out for the moment?
Just have a good night, everyone, and enjoy. If I don't see you back here in an hour.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Stay safe out there, and until next time, have a good night.